Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting outrageous toy review. I recently went on a toy hunting road trip with my buddies Dave and Nick. Of course, Baby Skeletor came along. We traveled from Pennsylvania to Maryland to pick up Dave, through Ohio and into Indiana to finally end up in Kentucky for the Kentuckiana Toy Expo, which was basically a mini GIJoe convention. Dave put together this awesome list of places for us to go and check out, and I'm going to show off some footage from these stores as well as items I picked up. New Dimension Comics in Pittsburgh was really funky because it was inside a shutdown Best Buy. So it looked like a Best Buy from the outside, except it had a little tiny sign. Inside it was a gigantic space. They had lots of tables and chairs for gaming. They had a pretty big gaming section to go along with that, like Magic and Warhammer and things like that. They had a ton of comics, lots and lots and lots of long boxes of comics. And they had a small toy section off to the side. At first we were a little disappointed with the selection. There was a few vehicles on a shelf. There were some Joes in a bin. And then finally we noticed these little tiny bins of parts. And the parts were $1 a piece. So we were some pretty happy toy collectors. I love how I could just shoot myself standing here like this for a while and then put any audio I want over it because you can't see my mouth move. Oh my gosh, guys, check this out! First thing I picked up at New Dimension Comics is this wetsuit figure. His mouth-breathing tubes are getting harder and harder to come by. Also, the Cobra Eels have that same issue. And so I grabbed this complete wetsuit, mostly as trade bait, because, like I said, those tubes are getting harder and harder to find. He does have a slight hint of an elbow crack on him, so slightly disappointed with that. I didn't notice it when I bought him. But still, you know, it's really great to have a complete accessory set for him because it's the correct accessories for both wetsuit and Special Mission Brazil wetsuit. The main thing I picked up at New Dimension Toys in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was the mail-away version of the GIJoe Weapons Transport. It is missing the antenna, but the coloration of that is the same as the standard release. But the green plastic this is made out of is a deeper green, less camo green than the regular store release. So it's kind of neat to have that little variant. It's not really a huge deal, but it definitely caught all of our eyes on the shelf. It even included the blueprints. I've been spending a lot of time recently trying to complete my GIJoe figures, pick up all the accessories that I'm missing for my collection. So I took advantage of the fact that New Dimensions sold parts and picked up a lot of little pieces that I needed. Backpacks, some missile launchers, so we've got a Sonic Fighter backpack here. I don't think it has batteries in it, but the batteries are dead on that. I got DJ's backpack and Bulletproof's gun from DEF. I picked up a few other missile launchers. This goes to Gung Ho from Battle Corps. The Battle Corps version of Law. I just got this guy complete, but his missile launcher was really discolored. And I believe this missile launcher goes to Balrog. If I misspeak about any of these parts, I apologize. I didn't go back and recheck whose things are whose, so I could easily slip up here. But I picked up a ski from Windchill. I know I have this ski somewhere, but during a recent inventory, I couldn't find one of them. I picked up a set of guns for Crimson Guard Immortal. Gonna need some missiles for those. This is a Kenner Robocop gun, but it's one of my favorite accessory weapons. I just think it's really cool. And since they had one there, I grabbed it. I got Snake Eyes' Sword and Guns. I got a knife. This is a black version of the Hit and Run knife, but I feel like I need it for somebody. Can't remember who. I'm blanking. Are these Rampart or Sub-Zero missiles? I think those are Ramparts. And this is Sub-Zero's snowshoe. And I got some accessories for Dojo. Still need a little rope to connect them. I got the black version of Roblox machine gun stand, that's for Sonic Fighter Law. A series of red accessories here that go to the 90s Cobra Viper. And I got a missile there to Barricade. Since he comes in 2 colors, I need 2 sets of accessories for him. After Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we headed into Ohio and stopped at Big Fun Toys in Columbus. This place was packed. There was so much stuff, like everywhere, like packed all the way up to the ceiling. Their displays were really awesome, though. They had super colorful toys on display in glass cases. It was really easy to see the stuff in the showcases, even though the shelves above them were insane. Lots of fun stuff going on in there, just a really cool vibe to that store. And they just had a ton of toy lines in general. Picked up Heavyweight from Cops and Crooks. He is a vehicle driver. I have his vehicle and him sealed in box, but I really want all the characters loose, and so he's missing his hat. But I'll keep my eyes out for those kind of things. But it was kind of a fun, inexpensive pickup to grab at Big Fun. I also picked up a carded Star Brigade Roadblock. I need a complete accessory set for this character. I already have him carded. So I picked this one up, and I think I'm going to open him, or the other one, depending on which one's packaging is worse. So that way I have a nice minty figure as well as complete accessories. This isn't a review of the Star Brigade line from GIJoe, but my hot take is this is one of the best space suits they used in the line, and I think they could have released a lot of core characters using this body. And I think people would have been happier with the character selection in the Star Brigade line than what we really ended up with. Who was asking for Star Brigade Ozone? Our next stop was Route 68 Vintage Toys in Xenia, Ohio. The staff there was extremely friendly. I really had a great time hanging out there and talking with those people. The store was well lit, and I know that might not seem important, but we were in a lot of toy stores where you really couldn't look at the merchandise because it was so dark you couldn't tell if something was discolored or broken and things like that. I really give them kudos for that. They had a lot of fun stuff in there, and it was really cool. They let us look through their parts bin. They said it's not really typical that they do that, but we had called ahead, and they knew we came a long way, and they wanted to help us out with our collections, so Dave and I got some cool parts, and Nick bought a bunch of Hot Wheels there. So I picked up Hot Seat. He's a GIJoe driver, and I've been missing his helmet for a long time. I actually have 1.5 Hot Seats before this. The first one I picked up at a yard sale years ago had some paint wear on him, and then I found a Hot Seat torso somewhere, like the upper half of his body, and I was going to swap it out to fix the fact that I had paint rub on his gloves. But unfortunately, the one I picked up, the paint that they used for the flesh on his forearms looked so bizarre. It's so, like, bleached white. I don't know if that was a sun issue. It just looked so ridiculous. I couldn't use it to make the swap. It was terrible. So I got a whole new one of him. What was Hasbro thinking with this guy? He's got gray hair like a grandpa and these bright orange pants. Thank goodness the mic on his helmet is non-removable. I was talking to my buddy Dave about some of the figures I need accessories for, and I mentioned Ice Cream Soldier. He found in their bin of parts the Beachhead gun, Charboil gun, Dusty's pistol, and the missile that all go to that figure. I still need another missile, the missile launcher, and the Spearheaded Max machete to complete him. Dave picked this Budo sword out of the pile and was nice enough to let me purchase it since I needed that to complete my figure. I got a gun for Psych Out, or Night Force Psych Out, and a remote control to a Pack Rat. These items right here are what I would call my best finds from Route 68. I got a Cobra Officer and Cobra Trooper gun, which I needed for my collection. They're in really good shape. I got the leg to an MMS, the Cobra version. I think it's the SMS. So this is Hawk's missile launcher setup from 82-83. This was repainted for a Sears exclusive. Pieces to this just are really hard to come by. And this, I just think is really funky. It's a gas pump to the Terradrome, still on the sprue. This was part 1 of my toy hunting road trip. We still have a few more toy stores to check out before we get to Kentucky. In the comments down below, let me know what your thoughts are on my finds from the first 3 shops on the road trip. I hope you check back for the next installment. Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review, Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.